It's the first of our Need to Know IT webinars. We intend these to be monthly. We've got 3 planned already in November and 1 in December. Range of subjects. Initially, we're concentrating on Office 365, but we'll touch on cybersecurity, we'll do business continuity, we'll look at how to use Windows more efficiently, how to basically get more out of the IT you've got. We may even touch on other more general business subjects as well as we develop the series, and maybe bring some guest speakers in and people who can provide advice. And if you've got any ideas of things you'd like to see in the webinar series, do let me know. Then today we are going to do a general help and advice and like a small introduction to Office 365. I'm going to touch on the Office 365 portal, which everybody has as part of their subscription, but not everybody knows how to use it or even does go to use it. But it's a very powerful tool and allows you to access your information through any web browser anywhere in the world, and some incredibly useful features for your business. We'll go and have a look at Outlook and Word. I'll use Outlook on the web. I'll show you that, as well as Outlook on your PC. And then I'll go into Word 2016 as well and show you a couple of little tips. Some really nice features that have come into Word 2016, which make things easier. Microsoft says something like people never use 20% of the features in Word or Excel or PowerPoint. And once you find some of these features that you've never used before, you think, wow, this will make it so much easier for me. We've got a fantastic tool called 365 Mapper that we use, which makes using SharePoint so much easier. SharePoint, again, it's a great place to access your information. You've got a great web console for it. However, in that daily working regime, people are used to that ability to go to a drive mapping. So we'll touch on 365 Mapper. And finally, we'll touch on GDPR and Office 365, and I'll give you a little bit of information on that. There'll be more on that coming in our GDPR event at the end of November. So that's the plan for today. Well, there you go, aims of today. So just a little briefing of Office 365. It's been going for 5.5 years now. We've been on it since it was in beta testing. So we were invited by Microsoft as a Microsoft partner to use Office 365. It changed the way we do business overnight. It was just phenomenal. And over the last 5 years, it has changed continuously. I think we've now got to a point with Office 365 where things have calmed down a bit. They've got really good set of tools that people can use, and each month new incremental features come into the product. The core products in Office 365 is Office itself, and that's the desktop apps, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, everything you're all used to using and have used for many years. You've got mobile versions of them as well. So on all Android and Apple iOS devices, you can access your Word documents and do an amazing amount of features now. In fact, using a tablet is becoming, a really useful tool, especially if you pair that with a keyboard. And then there's Office Online. Again, Office Online, when it started, was the younger brother of main Office and didn't have as many features and was very limited. But now it's become a very powerful place where you can do real work, collaborate with each other, and keep abreast of what you've got in your documents. Plus, you get all of this. You get the email, which is the main gateway into Office 365 for customers. They realize that they want better email than what they've got right now. They want the ability to share emails and the ability to share calendars, and your normal email services that you get through your web provider or even on your server in an office just don't cut it compared to what you get in Office 365. To put the equivalent of just the email section for a 20 user business just doing email and nothing else that Office 365 gives you, we're probably talking between £8,000 and £12,000 on licensing and servers and other bits and professional services. Whereas with Office 365, it's £9.40 a month. It's just an extraordinary service, and the ability for you to access that quickly and expand your business, and the ability for your team to work together is phenomenal. The OneDrive and SharePoint give you an amazing file sharing and storage system. OneDrive gives you a terabyte per user, and SharePoint gives you 25 gig as an organization, but you can buy more. Now, online meetings here, it's referring to Skype for Business, but there's a new service which came out last year called Microsoft Teams, and Teams is very new in the 365 ecosystem. But next year, Microsoft are going to merge Skype into Microsoft Teams, and you'll see that as a really powerful way to work and collaborate with each other. So online meetings is a really important place for Microsoft, and they're really trying to make the collaboration between your team, people elsewhere in your business, or people in other businesses, customers or suppliers, so much easier. So you can flow information securely between each other and share information. Technical support is there. If you're a customer of ours, your first line support is Node IT. We are a cloud services provider partner with Microsoft. That basically means we've met certain requirements of Microsoft to provide Office 365 to our customers and also provide all first line support. We also have gone a step further and can do most of the second and third line support that you would need. We then have a strategic partner, UK partner of Microsoft, and they basically handle any second, third line before it goes out to Microsoft engineers. I think we've had to call them twice in the last year for any particular issues. So your team that look after you, they know about Office 365 and they know about your business too. So that's where you come with us. Now, I think this has been updated since I last showed this, and I'll get an updated version. But the periodic table of Office 365, it looks quite confusing actually. There's a lot of product in there. There's a lot of things, and depending on where you are in the licensing part, you'll get certain elements. Some key things in here is bookings, which is a new tool and free. And if you're taking bookings for people or events, or you've got somewhere such as a community center, then you can set this bookings page up and manage all your bookings and even payments, etc. So it's phenomenally powerful. We've also, I say, we've got Microsoft Teams down here, and we've also got the new one. Where's it gone? Visio Online. This is a new one as well. So Visio Online is taking the powerful diagram tool. This is a direct response to another product called Lucid Chart, which is, I have to say, very good, which was taking a bit of Visio's market a little bit because it was providing an online service. But now Microsoft have come back and said, right, hang on guys, we've been running Visio for a long time. Here's the online version, give that a go. So that's out now. That's an add-on that you can put into Office 365. But as you can see, there's a lot of products here, a lot of services. It can be quite confusing to kind of get your head around some of them. But what I say is, when I show you the portal later, I recommend you go and experiment. You won't really do anything wrong. And if you have any problems, give my team a call. And yeah, here's the key products I was referring to earlier. OneDrive, SharePoint, Skype, soon to be Teams, and of course, good old Outlook, or Microsoft Exchange as we call it as techies. Straight to the demo. Let me just change the screen. Okay. So here I've got the Microsoft portal. Now, actually, what I'll do is I'll just sign out of this, show you the sign-in experience. Everything's an experience these days. Okay. I'm using Microsoft Edge here, which is the browser built into Windows 10. So this is how you sign into Office 365 through the portal. You'll go to portal.office.com and that will take you to the Office 365 signing page. Now, I haven't got an alter ego of Megan. This is a demo site that Microsoft provides to partners, so we can set them up for our customers to show. So rather than showing you the ins and outs of the Node IT Office 365, we're using a demo site. And Megan Bowen is the username I will be using. And just bear with me one moment. Just need to get that password. There we go, I'm authenticated in now. So this is the front page of the portal, and straight away you can see at the top you've got various applications that are available to you, and you've got a little documents thing here. So this is anything you've been recently opening and using, or any folders you've recently been in. You can also pin documents here, and you can see what's shared with you, and you see there's various documents that's been shared, and that gives you quick access to them documents. We've got mail at One Drive, we've got Word, Excel, PowerPoint, the usual suspects, but also up in this top left hand corner you've got this little 9 boxes. You click on that, and there you've got various applications available to you, and that you can see in Office 365. There's bookings that I mentioned earlier to you, and Teams, etc. Dynamics 365, that's a completely different beast. We won't touch on that today, but we have got an expert that can help us. So you can easily navigate to the various applications and things you want to do. Another thing here, which is search, which is just fantastic, and you can put in, like, we know there's something called November. And it searches across your entire Office 365. You can then quickly click on a document here and it'll open it up in the web page, and you can get a view of that with Open PowerPoint Online. And from there you can either choose to edit the document or actually share the document. Various options. You can even do a slideshow and present directly from in there. So that's just by doing a quick search. If I just click back to here, go back to the front page. There's also other options up here, like install Office 2016. Now that's something my team would handle for you, but if you've got a computer at home, every user license has 5 copies of Office 365 available to them. So that means you can use Office 365 either in the office on your machine there, or you can use it in your home PC, you can use it mobile. What it doesn't mean though is if you've got 5 computers and 5 people in the office, you can buy one Office 365 license. It is per user. So if that machine is used by you, then you can use it and you can access Office 365 through that. But if you then said, well, I've got Fred and Joe and Janet and Simon, they could be a license, that would not count. They'd all need to have an Office 365 license themselves. Again, if I just click on now, if you've got here, so you explore all your apps, there's a lot more functionality coming in here. See, you've got a lot more applications that you can see. Now, if we click on here, the little 9 dots, and click on Mail. So this is Outlook on the web. Now this one's got the latest version because it's got Focused and Other. So Focused Inbox is a new feature, and it started in the mobile. And some of you will have clutter. So if you've got clutter, you won't see this. But if you're new, you may see this instead of the clutter box. Focused learns about the emails you want to see and the emails you don't want to see. And anything that's spammy, that's got for your spam filters, etc., will go into Other. And it will teach you and let you know that you've got emails in each one. So there we go. There's a mail there for Other and Focused. I use it on my mobile. I don't have it yet on my desktop because I've got a clutter set up, and there's quite a bit of a task I've got to do if I'm going to shift that over. But I find it quite powerful, and in fact I found it very useful indeed, particularly on mobile, because I can look and it's learned the sort of who I want to see emails from and who I don't want to see emails from. As you can see here, you can click on an email, and this is a shared file, but immediately you get this bar at the top, which gives you some options of what you can do with your mailbox, or particularly this email. So if I click on junk, you can junk it, or you can even report it as a phishing. So if you report it as phishing, it reports back to Microsoft that it's a spammer that sent this, and then that'll be logged in them for the future. So they'll see that email coming through in a phishing as a phishing attack. And then that actually why it goes beyond Microsoft, because people share, Microsoft and other spam services share, so other people then learn that actually there's a spammer about using this domain. That's a very useful thing, and junk will just put it into your junk folder. And there's another feature here which is called sweep. Now my inbox is rather large, I've got quite a lot in my inbox, but here you go, you can choose to go through your inbox and just delete all the messages that are in there, or you can click on the drop down and archive them. So you can clean your inbox up really quickly from this tool. And again, similar options there. So it's a way of setting up rules in Office 365 for your emails, and you can then quickly view rules, and it'll take you to even more rules about what you can do with your inbox. So moving rules into Office 365 is really powerful, because I think the one thing that we need to make clear is your email sits in the Office 365 servers in the cloud in Microsoft's data centers. It doesn't sit on your computer. Your computer always looks back up to Office 365 and gets the settings from there. Office 365 is the gold copy. But here you can set up inbox rules to say how email is set up. You just click on the plus, and you can start adding all sorts of conditions. So if it was sent or received, you can send it from a particular person, and in there it gives you the options then to select who it's from. So we can say Antonio. I'll select Alex then, because Alex has got an email address. Click save, and then you can say do one of the following: move, copy, or delete. Copy a message to the folder, and say we can move that to Project Vulkan, and click OK. You can set exceptions, so there might be certain emails that you don't want for him to be moved, but then you just click OK, and that's it now. That is now a new inbox rule, and that is set for any messages. So after the message arrives and the message received from Alex, do the following: copy the message to the following folder, Project Vulkan, and stop processing rules. It's a lot easier than doing it through Outlook client, I have to say. You can just click and click and click, and it gives you quick options to see the people who you want to do that with, and that's all done through the web. Also, we've got this email here. You've got quickly here, you've got move to, and you get these options again. We've got Project Vulkan. It's obviously an important project, and you can move these elements to various locations. So quite simple. A lot of this wasn't available in Outlook on the web to start with. It's really become a much more powerful tool for people to use. And over here, say we want to reply to the message, we've got a little drop down. And again, as you see, we've got the mark as phishing, mark as junk. You can even delete all messages from Diego. And you can even do a reply by instant message. So doing a reply by instant message, there we go, Skype for Business comes up. Unfortunately, Diego's offline, but we can leave a message anyway and say, hi, thanks. And although Diego won't see that, he will get an email in his inbox to say that we tried to contact him. But if Diego was online right now, we could have a conversation with him, and it might save us sending another email. It might be able to resolve the issue quite quickly. And that's all done through the web console. So if you've got members of your team who are mobile or don't necessarily have a full premium license of Office 365, they can function really well within Outlook on the web. And in fact, in some ways, it's a lot more powerful. So they will be able to do more things, or the same things that you can do in Outlook client, and communicate really quickly and easily with you. There's another thing here which is search. I love the search in here. It's immediately it picks up who I've been contacting with and who's been seeing who's been sending emails. I'm just typing document, which is going to bring loads of results. And again, here you go. I've looked for something that says document, but actually I was looking for something from Alex, and then I can quickly filter. But then say I want to see it between certain dates, I can select a range, and I can just click on my date range here. I can say 8th of October to the 10th. There we go, we just got that one, and there we go, we've got the Northwind proposal, and that's exactly what we wanted. You can see he's attached an email here as well, and we can preview that just clicking on there. And there it opens in a preview folder right next to us. You can easily print that, and if it's in a different language, you've got Translate built in as well. So again, really powerful way of accessing information. You can download it or save it to your OneDrive as well, all from within this console. So clear the search. Okay. So another part of Office 365 is good old Word. Actually, we're going to go to OneDrive first. So OneDrive's a great online location where you can access your files and share files and basically see them on the go. Here we've got a range of Word, Excel, some PowerPoint, and even a OneNote as well. As you can see over here, we've got the name modified by, file size, but then sharing. And sharing is really important because you can quickly see who's got access to this data. Now, only you is quite obvious, only you've got access. But when it's shared, that's another thing. So you can click on shared there, and immediately it shows you all the different people who have got access to this document. Gives you a little preview as well. And you can see there's quite a lot of people. Megan is obviously quite popular in sharing her documents. And not only that, it shows you report of activity. So when it was shared out with different people, or even edits, etc. And you can click on here, manage access, and you can see that Megan is the owner, and all these are can views. So can view means quite simply they can see the document, and they will see that document in their OneDrive. But you can click on there and select allow edit or stop sharing. We do keep picking on Alex, don't we? Another thing about sharing is you can see who shared documents with you just by going shared with me. And here we are, we've got a range of documents that various people have actually shared here. And as you see, it's quite a lot of documents. Documents can be shared in many different ways. I'll show you a couple of them. So if we go to Files, and you say highlight the file, click on the three dots, click Share. And here you get a nice little drop down, and you can say share with people in Contoso. Contoso is the Microsoft demo company. People with existing access, so people have already got access to share it out and let them know again, or specific people. Anyone is global, so you can just send that link to anybody. So that's the web, so that's people outside of your business. So it's quite powerful, but you've got to be aware of what you're giving them. You say specific people, and allow editing. Fine. And then you can enter the name and email address of the person. So if I say lee.wood, that is me. And I can add a message. Hi, Lee. And then send it. I will now get that link, and I will be able to see that in my shared with me folder. And I will be able to access them files from the web, from my PC, from Word, whatever I want to do, and I'll be able to edit that because I've got edit rights. And basically, I now know all about the employee health accounts. Maybe not something you really want to be sharing, but there you go. There's also Discover in here, which Unfortunately, because this is a demo account, it's not showing anything, but that really shows you anything that other people are working on at the time. When I look at my Discover, I see absolutely loads of documents in there. Recycle bin, again, this is empty, but if you delete anything, it's in here for 30 days, sometimes 14, but 30 days. After it's gone, it's gone. You can't recover it back. Microsoft can't recover it back. Nobody can recover it back unless using a service like Backupify that we provide to customers as standard, which backs up your OneDrive, your SharePoint, and your email. Just be aware that if you haven't got any sort of backup, you then basically data's gone, data's gone. Cloud file sharing is not backup. Cloud file sharing is just somebody else's computer with your data on it. And if it gets deleted and you go out with the time scales that they can recover the data back, you've lost it. Backup is the ability to recover data from set periods of time, up to a year usually for some companies, and other companies they need to go back decades and have data that they've got to recover back from due to regulatory requirements. So whatever your requirements as a business is, you need to be able to know that you can get your data back. And Office 365, Google Apps, a lot of them, Dropbox, they've only got limited timescales. So we go to files. I will come back to questions at the end of the period. Obviously, you can see them coming up in the chat window. So if anyone else has any questions, put in the chat window and I'll make sure I answer them at the end of this session. Okay, so that's OneDrive. You'll notice also appears a sync button. If you're using Windows 10 and we've set up your computer, we'll have already set this up for you, so you'll have sync down to your machine. But if you're using 365 Mapper, you'll have even quicker access to your Office 365 system. Now, if I open this Word document up, we see Word Online. I was telling you about Word Online before. So we're currently just in accessibility mode. This allows us to view the document and do things. If we go to edit and do edit in browser, you see straight away we've got the usual tools available to us now. It's cut down, admittedly, but it's a lot more than it ever used to be, and it's very powerful again. It's currently, we've got headings, so we can change that into a heading. We've got the ability to bold, center. We'll change that actually to a whatever justification we like to do. We've got the full ability to do things. We've got orientation. This is currently set to landscape, set to portrait. Oh, no, here we go, set to landscape. Or back to portrait again. Any documents you've got, you can basically access. If you click on File, as you build up the more documents, you'll see recent documents building up in here. So if you've been opening documents on your PC and they're on OneDrive or they're in SharePoint, they will show here as well. So you will be able to access your documents. And the great thing is, as you move along, you see more documents appear. And as you use Word more, you see more documents. And if you move from your PC and then you're out and about and you want to access on your mobile, you'll see the same documents in your recent documents. So it just gives you a flow of being able to see your documents as you go along and easily access them, and it picks up where you left off, which is another really useful tool. I was recently doing a proposal and I was working on my PC in my office at home. Then went into the office for a meeting, took my laptop with me, and then switched my laptop on and opened that same document, which I picked up from in recent documents, and it picked me straight up onto the point where I'd left it at home. So really, really powerful, and just makes it a lot easier for you to work. Just going to show you a couple of things in Word itself. As you see, if I go to File here and open, you see that's that same document. Also in File and Open, we've got our different locations. So we've got our SharePoint site, and we can go and browse our SharePoint site from there. You see it come up there. There we go. It'll show any documents we've got. Or we can go into our OneDrive. And again, any Word documents immediately come up and we can start editing them documents. But I'm going to do a new document. There's loads of templates. And I encourage you to go and have a look at the templates. If I go to this blank document, there's a really nice tool which Microsoft have brought in. Now, I don't know if anyone knows about this to start with, but if I want to do a document on the Eiffel Tower, for example, that's what it's going to be called. If I click heading 1, straight away, that's it now. I've got a heading for that. And then I can do this. And I can set that to be in heading 2. Headings, what they do is they allow you to create a structured document which allows you to do references and tables and table of contents, etc. I use them all the time for our proposals. Really powerful. But here's a really nice tool which I'm doing this document in the Eiffel Tower. I can click on references, I can click on researcher. And if I type in Eiffel Tower, it does a search, click on there. So I want to put an image in of the Eiffel Tower, and I just click on this one here because it's a nice one, click add image, and there it is, straight away. So I've got a picture of the Eiffel Tower, but also it's cited it, and it's also put into bibliography. So if you're taking information from the web, it's always really important to cite where you get data from. It's always important to get permission if you need it, but at least if you put a bibliography together which shows that, you are taking the effort and making the effort to show that this is work that you've acquired. Scroll down to here. I want to add some text in, and again, I think I need to do a description of the Eiffel Tower. Click on this website, it opens in reading view. Just click there. And I can highlight this text, add and cite. So straight away it's added in, and again it's added it into the bibliography. So I've got this data, but I'm not keen on the way that looks. So if I click on the image, click on this here, and click tight, there we go. We've got the Eiffel Tower and some information about it, and it actually says who the photographer is, and we've got a bibliography. This is a really powerful way of searching and adding information into a document. If you're trying to illustrate a document or trying to put images into a document, it's just so much easier than going into your web browser, using the Microsoft snipping tool to cut and paste it in. You're doing it straight from within Word. It's very powerful indeed. I've used it a couple of times now already, and it's how Microsoft are really changing the products and trying to make it so that you can stay within the product and you can flow around that product. And as you said, that looks quite smart. You know, it's a nice, reasonable looking document, and that only took me a few mouse clicks. I'm just going to put a page break in, which is Control and Enter if you want a shortcut. And here I'm just going to go to Table of Contents, click Automatic Table, and there we go. We've got a table of contents already in the document. So you can put a title page. If you've had one of our quotes that's come out of SharePoint, you'll see it's got Node IT Solutions at the front of it, then it's got Table of Contents, and then we start the product. Description or everything you need to know, costs, etc. So at least you can see which page the cost is on and go straight to that page. And then you can go and look at the product and find out the information you need to do it. And it allows you to scan and know where the document is. We're just going back now to Outlook as we carry on this section. So Outlook, again, is... This one's got the focused inbox and other. As you see, it's matched up email. That was on the web. We've also got the ability to look at our groups. We'll touch on groups in more detail in the next session, which will be on sharing, where we'll show about collaboration, how we can use groups to collaborate, and how we use teams, and also how we collaborate in documents together. But here in Outlook, now the groups show up, and you can see any data information in there. You can start a conversation, you can share your files, just click on the links, and it'll take you to the locations. Groups is a really powerful feature of Microsoft. We've been using it recently with new customers when doing project work, and just sharing status and where we're going with the quick with information, and it allows us to collaborate across distance. Outlook, again, the search is really powerful in Outlook. I really like search. I actually don't have an organized inbox because I found search to be so much better for the things I need to do. But if we click documents, but then we've got here, we click on all, and we can do arrange by and select by attachments. So anything that's got an actual attachment, then I can quickly see, okay, Alex again, and there's his document with the attachment on there. I've shown this trick a lot to people. I love this trick, and it is if you drag an email onto the calendar, it then creates a new calendar item. Really, really easy, and saves you going into the calendar, and it puts the people you need in there. And we can click invite attendees, and we can basically say, Alex, I want to get you in on this. But any information that came out of Alex's email is in that. There you go. So that can be really cool, because if someone sends you an agenda, you can just stick it onto there and set that up. You'll see also here the location. So if you've got an office and you've got meeting rooms in that office, you can set them rooms up within Office 365. At Node IT, we have our meeting room. I've got other customers that have board rooms and different sorts of places that they use for their services. And so, you know, that's great, because then what it does, it books that room out, and then you can look at the calendar for that room and see if that is booked out. Really useful, really very useful indeed. Okay. So if you've got any questions on Outlook, if you just put them into the question box, and I'll come to them shortly. I'm just going to touch on making OneDrive and SharePoint a little bit easier for you. Actually, there's a tool which does make it easy in Outlook whilst I'm here. If you go to new email, handy little box here called attach file. So I've got here Office 365 demo. It's a text file that I've got on this computer. But also I can browse my web locations, and I can go to my OneDrive. And there we go. I'm going to send that off to somebody. Click insert, and then it gives you this link. So this is again what I was saying about sharing before. Share a link or attach as a copy. Attach as a copy sends a copy of the document, and that goes to the person. Once they've got it, it's out of your control. But sharing a link is different. So we click on share link. Click on sharing. And what we can do is says anyone can edit. We can click on the drop down here, change permissions. Anyone can view. Organization can view. Recipients can view. So you are setting the permissions to the document straight from the off. So they go, you are keeping control of your data, you're control of your information, you can access it. And this is some of the tools that come into GDPR, and making sure that if you are letting people have access to your information and sharing your data, you can use these tools to say, okay, we'd like you to have view to that. You can see that. But at a later date, you can revoke that view. So just from data protection, data security, it gives you a lot more power than sending it as an attachment as a document. Because once it goes, it's lost. You don't have access unless you use there's some new tools in 365's Enterprise Management Suite, and there's a lot of security tools there where you can actually set documents. You can send them as an attachment, and they will, after a set period of time, be revoked, and the person won't be able to access them, and they can't even share them or send them or email them. So there are tools, but straight out of Office 365, this gives you a lot more power. So sharing links rather than sending actual attachments to give you control. Also, as you can see here, so I'll just click attach file again, it's just updated, and it's realized, oh, I've opened these documents. So it keeps a track of your recent items, which goes back to what I was saying about Word before. When you click on file, you can see all your documents, etc. And so you can, within Word, share things a lot quicker and easier. Okay, I'm just going to let you all into my own computer. A second. Okay. So with OneDrive and SharePoint, So here we go. Off Node IT's SharePoint site, busy place. We do lots of things in here. We do a lot from our sales and marketing here, our finance, etc. All secured. So only the people who need to see it can see the data. Only the people who need to access information can access information. So we have a management area and we have finance areas. We also have areas for the support team to use, etc. We have a sales and marketing side as well. So we can browse this and we can go through various places and have a look at our SharePoint. But sometimes when you're trying to access some data, it can be, particularly in applications outside of the Microsoft Office suite, trying to use SharePoint or OneDrive to attach them documents or put them into CRM file can be a little bit more problematic. Plus, also people are used to using File Explorer to access their files. They're going to My Documents or they're going to folders on mapped network drives on servers. So one of the things that can be a little bit of a problem there is there's a bit of a disjoint and people can't get access to data as quickly as they need to do. And if an application doesn't directly support SharePoint or OneDrive, they're a little bit stuck, and it can be a bit of a jarring feature for them. So 365 Mapper, which is from a partner company of ours called Identity Experts, it's a little client which sits in your computer. We configure it for you, and it allows you to map drives. So here we've got F for our finance drive, we've got our current clients drive, monthly reports, OneDrive for myself, and we've got our sales and marketing. So in here, when we've got our events that we've been running, there we go. We've got our GDPR event coming up. We've got our webinars, and this is where the fantastic Nathan is working on the documents and the files. So the next one here, if I double click on this file now, there we go, power of sharing, there it is, and that opened up instantly. And it's like running a file server within your office, but we're using OneDrive and SharePoint to do that. It's really made a big difference to a lot of customers. It's made a big difference to ourselves and the way we use SharePoint, and how some applications we can integrate them straight into SharePoint by telling them use the S drive. And it goes, fine, that's okay, I can access that because I've got the client. It's a really powerful tool, is 365 Mapper. If you want some more information, I'll send some after this, and have a chat with us about how you can use it as well. We've got 14-day trials available. It's really that simple, it's a drive mapping, and you can quite easily get to your data. Here we go, I've got my PowerPoint slides, I've got Emily, my daughter, that was when she tried to be school counsellor, bless her. More images on here. So, and this is exactly like browsing OneDrive online or through OneDrive on the web. Now, okay. So GDPR and Office 365, I've touched on some of these things, and having control of files and setting access to files. People keeping control of the data you have and making sure people can access the data you have, it's really important to do that. And Microsoft are currently releasing new information about how you can use Office 365 within GDPR. We'll touch on that in our GDPR event later in the month. I think to start with, everybody can look at who they're sharing information with. They can do that just by, as I was showing you before in the portal. I'll go back to the demo page. As I say, you can see who shared it and removed that. That's also shown in SharePoint. So you can keep a track on that. There's also auditing within Office 365 which would like to keep a track on that. I'm going to be doing a little bit more on this probably towards the end of the year. But the key thing is for you all to be aware about GDPR. Now, GDPR, for those that don't know, is the General Data Protection Regulation, which is coming to effect and affects all businesses. I was with a customer yesterday, said it doesn't affect me at all. And it says, do you keep any data or information about people? Yes, but we don't need to worry about it. It's on a computer. No, that isn't on the internet. I was like, well, it's nothing to do with the internet. You've got data. You've got to manage that data. You've got to secure that data and make sure you take the right precautions. There's a lot going on about that. Well, a lot of it is really not just about technology. It's a lot of it's about policy. And so we're working with Mel Blackmore of Blackmore's, who is just phenomenal when it comes to policy and information. She's an ISO specialist, and she's got some fantastic insights into GDPR for business. And we will touch again with our customers, letting them know about what Microsoft have been doing and how they can use them tools to help them enforce those policies. GDPR is 80% policy, 20% technology. I think I'm about the only IT people who are saying that at the moment, but we're here to help you if you've got any questions. Right, now I've got some questions. I've got quite a few questions actually. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Tonya, I think I showed the documents can be shared external to an organization. I shared one from the demo site to myself. And in fact, when I was on this earlier, I shared myself a document to Megan. So the Node IT Cyber Secure presentation, I shared it with her. She gets this email. And you can set permissions on that requires that she has to log in or not log in or however. But yeah, you can share them. Yeah, thank you. To answer your question. There you go. Michael Key, if I share a document with somebody and they don't have, say, Word, it's still open in preview mode? Yes, if they don't have Word, they'll be able to click on here, and that'll be a link to the web address. There you go. How can you share contacts so all in the office can see them? So you can add contacts into Office 365 address book. Matt on my team will be the man who can answer that exactly how you do it, but you can basically add any contacts in. What I'll do, Mark, is I'll send you a link of how to add contacts in, and then basically they become a contact within the global address book for your business. Tonya, when you send a link, could the recipient not download a copy of the document and save on their computer? Well, if it's just a view link, they'll just see it in here, and they'll only get edit in browser, and they won't have the file save as option. So they'll just, if they've just got a view link. I will check though to make sure about what they can do after that, because as I mentioned to you before, there's the EMS suite of Office 365. Which is centered on security, which has got more protection, and so with that you can actually say to a document, and the document is very special. So if it's a Word document, it goes out. It's got special security built into it, which means it can only be opened within Word or Microsoft products. It can only be used in Outlook client. You can't open that email in other clients because of the security around it. But what that enables you to do is provide access or revoke access to a document. You can time limit a document, and you can prevent people from printing or downloading. You can even prevent them from forwarding the document, because of the security built into the Office suite. It knows to look into the security parts of this document. They're not just normal Word documents. So if you really need to go down that route, you have got that option. That's an optional suite you can add into Office 365. We've got a few customers that use that now, and it's very powerful for them. Okay. Are there any other questions that anybody has for me? So we've got Office 365, the power of sharing, which is on Tuesday, November 14th. Same format as this, and we'll be discussing Microsoft Teams, which is going to be the replacement for Skype over the next year or so. So using how that you can use Teams, really good platform. How you can collaborate with your Word documents and Excel documents with each other, and we'll do an online demo of that. And also a little bit more, we'll go into a little bit more on sharing. So that's obviously from the questions I've had today, people want to know more about that. The other event we've got, which is the 29th of November, which is a morning about GDPR and cyber essentials for your business. This is going to be a really good event. We've got Mel Blackmore from Blackmore's. As I say, she's an absolute specialist in everything to do with policy and procedure. She is one of the few people I've come across who really understands GDPR and is working with her customers to help them. She does assessments and a variety of services they do, but the information she has around GDPR is fantastic. And an important part is how we match that in with Cyber Essentials. And Cyber Essentials is the government standard for IT security and cyber security. We are currently going through the process of becoming a certificate body for that. It's been quite an involved process to make sure that we qualify and that basically we'll be setting the standard for security for all businesses in the UK. If you're working with government at all or doing funding, you'll quickly find the government will insist you have Cyber Essentials, and we can help you go through that. And that fits nicely with GDPR because, again, if you've got Cyber Essentials and you had a breach, but you've taken the precautions and the government says, oh, you've got Cyber Essentials, that's a big tick for you. So it's a really, really important part. And then with all the emphasis on cyber security in the last year, it's really important that we, as businesses together, actually take this seriously. Because if we all take precautions, we all protect. We're protecting not just ourselves, we're protecting each other. We're protecting our suppliers, we're protecting our partners, we're protecting our customers. So it's really important we all do our bit in regard to cyber essentials and cyber security. So if you want any more information on that, go to nodeit.com/events. You can give me or the team a call anytime you want to, or drop me an email. And if there's no other questions, I'll say thank you very much.